All right. Good morning. Welcome to Barely Homesteading. I'm the Lumberjack. It's a cool January day here in Colorado. Nice blue skies, a little bit of clouds. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our chickens and give you a tour of our chicken area and our chicken coop. So let's take a walk over there. Alright, so our chicken area is attached to our garden, and let me give you a shot of that here. So this is our garden, and back there in the back is our chicken area, it's our chicken coop. Currently we've got 7 chickens, 3 black Australorps, and 4 black sex links. They are all hens and they are all laying, and so they're out scratching where they can. And so this is our chicken coop. We just built this last summer and fall. Give you a quick tour of this. So we tried to set this up so that it would be as easy for us to take care of the chickens as possible. Laying boxes are accessible from outside the coop. We've got windows all around to let as much natural light in as possible. We've also got electricity run to the coop so that we have some artificial lighting in there when we need it, and also so we have somewhere to plug in our heated water container. The chicken coop is elevated off the ground about 2 feet so that we've got easy access to rake it out underneath and clean it. We made this chicken coop large enough so that during the winter here in Colorado, if we end up with a large snowfall, we actually had one storm already this year that was about 2 feet of snow in one storm, that the chickens would have enough room inside the coop if they couldn't come out for a few days. They wouldn't go stir crazy and start pecking each other, etc. Our entrance is here. Need to clean that out. And one of the things that we've done here is we've actually got a door that we can open and shut from the outside. Another feature of this coop is this side. This entire side is 3 doors that open up, and we actually have some hooks on top of the chicken area that we can attach the handle of the door. So the door stays up by itself. Inside the chicken coop, we got some roost for them, and we put in this plastic dog kennel flooring, which makes it super easy to clean. We simply rake the droppings down through the grate and then collect them all underneath. A lot of the droppings fall through on their own, but right now it's a little too cold for that. One of the other features of this coop that I wanted to point out is that the roof, I've got it open down here under the eaves, and back behind on the back side of the coop show this to you. I've got some vents on the eaves, and that's for ventilation. We get usually have a breeze here all the time of some sort, and so that gives us a nice ventilation of the coop, keeps the humidity down, which we want to keep the humidity down in the coop for the chickens as much as possible, keeps them healthy. And that dog kennel flooring also helps with that, because we get not only the breeze across the roof, but as it blows across the roof, it draws air up from underneath the kennel flooring to also dry out the coop. So another added benefit. Now over here on the far side of the chicken coop is where we've got the food and the water for the chickens. We've got a heated waterer right now that's portable. We'll be able to move that around and get it out of the chicken coop once it warms up enough. We've got electricity run inside the chicken coop, so we can plug that waterer in, with the outlet where the chickens can't get to it. We've also got a light bulb in here so that we can provide artificial light when we need to. The feeder here is one that I came up with on my own. Works pretty well. We're actually going to be making another one of these this spring for our meat chickens, so that we can separate the feed for the meat chickens versus the laying hens. And it's nice because, open this up, you can see, I can put an entire 50-pound bag of feed in here, and it's completely waterproof, and I don't have to worry about the chickens getting droppings in it or animals being able to get into it. And we can actually put this outside and it still keeps the rain out because of the way we've designed the openings for the hens to eat. So as I said, we'll be showing you how to make one of these in a later episode. This chicken area, the chicken run, is completely enclosed with the 2x4 welded wire fencing, both on the sides and on the top. Got a lot of hawks up here and raccoons that could get in if we didn't have the top fenced off, and so that protects the chickens. Another feature of this coop that we made sure to incorporate is protection for the chickens. We've got a lot of wild animals up here in the mountains of Colorado, and you can see that we've placed 4x4 posts all along the bottom of the fencing. The fencing is nailed or stapled into those posts, and then out from those posts outside the chicken area, we've actually laid down this 2x4 welded wire flat on the ground, extending 4 feet out, and that wire is covered with rocks to keep it down until the grass could grow up through it to keep it in place. And the idea is that if we have an animal trying to dig in to the chicken area, they hit that fencing and they back up and they back up, and by the time they get out 2-3 feet, they give up and go somewhere else. And so it's worked out well. We've had the chickens a year and haven't had anything even get remotely close to burrowing in. In addition to that, in case we did have something get into the garden area, under the portal into the chicken area, we've placed rock underneath to prevent anything from burrowing under the door, which is probably the weakest part of the whole enclosure. The other thing that we've done is along the bottom half of all of the fencing, we've put this metal cloth, this hardware cloth, to keep the smaller rodents from being able to get in here and steal all of the chicken food. And that's also worked out very well. I haven't seen any rodents or rodent droppings here in the chicken area at all. So for the most part, it looks like our protections, our defenses for the chickens have worked out pretty well. We've got this little dog kennel that we're actually going to be trying to get some turkeys this spring, and so the turkeys will probably be using that kennel instead of the chicken coop. And then we have this original chicken coop that just wasn't enough for the flock that we had, and so we'll probably set that eventually in its own area when we start to brood our own chickens. We'll get some broody hens and keep them in that small coop so that they can actually hatch some eggs for us. So all in all, it's a pretty good layout. Couple of things that we're going to try to be doing this year to improve this layout is, you can see down here a big mound of snow in front of the coop. We put a metal roof on the coop, and the reason for that is because we want to put a gutter along this entire front edge and then collect the rainwater from the downspout and have that go into a water container inside the coop so that we don't have to keep filling up the chickens' water so much. It'll be somewhat self-sustaining. Also, another future plan here on the outside is right here in this empty space next to the lane boxes. We're going to put in an automatic feeder, so again we can feed the chickens without having to take the feed into the chicken area. Be a little bit easier, and we'll also the plan is to have a way to view how much food they've got, so we don't have to keep opening up the container. It'll be visible from the outside. So that is our chicken coop and chicken area right now. It's been fairly cold. We've been getting about 2 to 3 eggs a day. For 7 hens, that's not bad. Open this up. So we've got actually 6 nesting boxes for the hens. For some reason, all of them only like to go in this, or lay in this first box. Not sure why, but that's what it is. Our chickens seem to be pretty happy and pretty healthy. Once it starts to warm up a bit, we should be getting probably 5 to 7 eggs a day, which is more than enough for our family. So that's our chickens and our chicken area and chicken coop. Hope you've enjoyed this little tour. Just to close off, I wanted to let you know that we've immensely enjoyed our chickens. They've been a great benefit to our homestead and to our family. While originally my wife was a little hesitant to get animals, she's really come around, and the kids have, well, they just love the chickens. In fact, they argue and fight over who gets to come out and check for eggs and help with the chickens. So I would highly recommend chickens to those that are starting out in a homesteading project. Chickens are very easy to take care of if you get the right breed for your area. They're very hardy, and as long as you give them food and clean water and shelter from predators and the elements, they're gonna survive. They're very hardy and very forgiving animals for the most part. and we've just loved them. So the other thing I wanted to say is that you don't need a lot of land or a lot of area for chickens. You actually can do it in quite a small area. Our chicken run in total is only 12 feet by about 20 feet. And so I'd encourage those of you who are wanting to maybe start off with some animals to look at chickens. Take a look at your local laws and ordinances in your area and see if you can have chickens. I know that there are a lot of municipalities that allow them. The hens at least, the roosters because of the crowing not so much. We've got some friends that live in one of the suburbs here outside of Denver, and they can have chickens, and they've enjoyed them as well. So definitely look into that. A lot of benefits, and honestly not a lot of work. So take a look at chickens, and with that we'll end this episode of Barely Homesteading. And remember, use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without.